Hey everybody, it's Bust, continuing our playthrough of Lab of Legends. Today we are on Heroic Malphite. Let's jump on in. So yeah, as it comes to Malphite, he's got a couple of problems. He doesn't have any realistic early game. I mean, he does have the Chip Blue Sentinel kind of thing, but a lot of these cards don't just do anything in the early game. A lot of these cards just don't do anything in general, right? Between the Start Tip Peak, the Spiral Stairs just being trash, Ground Slam just being stuns for the most part, and then the Eye of Rahul Rock is, good at stalling the board, but it's really just here to flip our Malphite. And so, kind of the things that we run into is if we don't have good early game, then we at least need to find a way to cheat on mana. We try to cheat on mana in a bunch of these, but this one is one where we're most certainly going to be looking for mana flow for the mana gem, sorcery for the spell mana, black market discount to make our expensive cards cheaper, whatever. We've got to get something to cheat on mana. And then throughout the trial, we have to find a way to interact with our opponents. And so Ground Slam on its own just isn't enough. We need a way to deal with a Professor Von Yip. We need a way to deal with opponents' Thresh, or if not a Thresh, their Chronicler of Ruin. Just some way to get in there and either deal damage or silence, challenge, whatever. We have to have some way to interact with our opponent's stuff. But before we get there, let's go ahead and start rolling. We're going to look for something to let us cheat on the mana. Wild Inspiration isn't quite what we're looking for. It does work with Star Tipped Peak, but it doesn't help us play our other spells for less. Terraforming also kind of lets us cheat on mana, starting with the landmark, but our landmarks just aren't that good to really want that. So let's see. Let's keep pushing this button. I saw the epic show up, but neither of those was the mana flow. And here we go, mana flow. Perfect. Alrighty. On to the spiders. And so yeah, the spiders match, it's kind of awkward. We have a fairly tough time closing out a game that doesn't involve Malphite, but he's just so good at closing out every game once he gets his flip. And so we tend to just throw a bunch of damage at our opponents, not do anything, and then eventually we'll get Malphite flipped, and Unstoppable Force will be enough to clean out our opponent's board. Oh, I messed that up. I forgot that we had the the mana flow, and so we should have started with the Sentinel and then followed up with Chip a bit later, but this will be okay. We're only getting one blocker either way, so let's make our Chip a little meaty, get the countdown happening on the peak. I think this is fine. The thing that gets awkward here is I don't really want to be losing our Chip to a Vile Feast. I just want to sit around and be able to block for as long as we can. So I will get the Blue Sentinel into combat, but we'll leave Chip hanging out behind so he can block next turn. Oop. Working out perfectly. Okay, the cards we picked up aren't super relevant, but at least it's a unit. that's as much as we can ask for sometimes. All right, well, we'll hold on to the Equinox. I don't think we're gonna be getting any real usage out of it here. I mean, I guess we could Equinox the Horror just to try and get our Blue Sentinel dead. Where does that leave us at? 3, 6. That give us 7 mana next turn to just play Malphite. Okay, I guess that's fine. Feels like we take extra damage doing it this way since we lose the unit, but get our big boy down. Okay, and we got this Ground Slam in our hand, so I think I want to bank the mana and not be like playing Moonglows here. Sure. Spiral Stairs is just the actual worst. Can't do anything with this. Okay. As it can technically do something now if we Spiral Stairs and then play the Stonebreaker. We don't have the mana to do all that though. Okay. Maybe next turn. Ugh. These are always painful. Can't Ground Slam into this and play a unit, I should say. So let's Equinox down the biggest one. Well, if we're just going to end up trading with the horror anyways. Now we can throw Malphite in front of it, put 3/3 in front of the host. Okay. Would you rather just have a unit at this point? Just, yeah, I think so. So let's just play the messenger. Okay, so you two are going away. This takes 6. Okay. Rock solid. Hell yeah, Pesky Spectre. That's gonna have to be a play for next turn. These are so awkward. Okay. Let's at least take away the stats. We got to play this at some point. We can probably Moonglow our Earth Elemental. He's not going to be able to attack too profitably now that he has his barriered unit, but it's starting to get us somewhere. Think we might be able to get out of this one without taking any more damage. We can flip Malphite next turn. Let's get the Stonebreaker going. Okay. Rip. See you, guy. Okay. Still can't even use the spiral stairs. This card's so terrible. All right, but we're making the magic happen here now. We can play the eye, flip our Malphite. May not be lethal. We may not have enough cards to stop him from playing units, but get pretty close here. Get him. That's the unstoppable force onto one spider. Feels pretty good. Ugh, Brood Awakening. Feels less good. Alright, but I think we should be fine at this point. Can't remember if this deck has like Vengeance in it. It has some kind of big card in it. I can't remember what it is. But I think we're okay. Spider does not look happy. All right. That should get us here. Then we'll hang on to the ground slam if we need to stun off a unit blocking an overwhelm. We can do something that way. I don't think we'll ever need to do that, but let's see. Got him. Neg 13. Okay, cool. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I mean, these aren't particularly good champions. Again, we need something with early game plays, and we need something with interactivity. We get some of that interactivity with Ezreal here, but these aren't like really high quality removal spells. You can't be killing Professor Von Yip with a Static Shock, so I think we'll let those go. And then all these other cards are just too expensive. So let's at least spend one reroll. I'm okay with the Darius one. Has a 2-drop. The Death's Hand really kind of falls off in the later modes of Expedition. Like, it just doesn't kill a whole lot, but Darius is, again, pretty good late game. But I'm going to come over here and take this Garen. The Brightsteel Protector is a reasonable 2-drop. We get a good removal spell in the Concerted Strike, and then it's not crazy to think that Garen can't flip and give us these big attacks every turn. And so, welcome to the squad, my man. He also helps us get these unstoppable forces, right? When I'm summoned or round start, if you have the attack token, yeah. So, okay, but our late game should be good enough now. It's just Malphite does so much as far as late game's concerned. You usually just don't need any more. But Good. Glad to pick up this 3-attack unit before we run into the mist wraiths. These are hands where Malphite tends to just lose, right? If we have these really weird hands to where we can't put any cards on the board. Oh, this is going to be big time. And have the double chips, and then Spiral stares them up next turn. But I think we want to go ahead and attack, right? If Chip's a 3/3 and Bark Beast is a 3/3, it's going to be a trade at any point in this game. Really? Really, game? Okay. That works for me. Now we're going to start to struggle. This is a little scary given our eyes interaction is temporary. But I think we want to go ahead and just ground slam this away. We're going to play the eye next turn and then Stonebreaker the turn after. We gotta spend the mana while we can. One more landmark for this guy. But handling this okay-ish. I've certainly had these go worse before. Now the opponent has no units. We have no units. Some of these cards are fairly awkward. Got to play the Stonebreaker to have a target for the seed. These are getting us pretty close to lethal, though. This deck tends to play Grasp of the Undying, so I'm not suspecting we'll get too much work out of Stonebreaker. I don't think it's going to be a lethal for us, but gotta get in here and block these dum-dums. I think we can take 5. Then we want to stop the Wraithcaller. I mean, maybe we should just break Ground Slam, but we couldn't Ground Slam and Earth Elemental, so it's kind of awkward. Alright, then what are the chances this guy's got to Grasp the Undying? I think we still want to attack, right? Well, yeah, we can't get our Earth Elemental big enough. Ugh. Boo. I think we need to get the eye down so we can grow our Earth Elemental, but this is less than ideal. It's Concerted Strike. It's a little more expensive. All right. Welcome to the game, Garen. Okay, so this should at least, if we don't win the game this turn, it should get our Garen flipped, and then he'll be pretty close to just winning the game next turn, since the eye will stun off some of his units. Okay, so yeah, our health isn't in a good spot. I definitely prefer to be a little bit higher in health, but we didn't lose. So that's a perk, right? Okay, so what do we want to do here? Jeez, Archangel Staff. I think that'll be good. I don't think we need to be stacking the Malphites here, though, so let's load it up on Garen since he's just a cheaper play. Okay, then we don't have any fearsome allies, so the Twisted Tree Line's not going to do anything. These aren't particularly good. I'm just going to take the Leona as a way to interact with our opponent a little bit. I mean, she's absolutely never flipping here. So it's like, well, you can just kind of have a stun on a body. It's tempting to hang on to one of these Garens, given that we can play him on the 4th turn. It's free. Maybe we should have hung on to both of them if we're going to be greedy like that, just having turn into Just have him turn into a judgment. Shark Chariot, okay. I'm going to start with the star-tipped beak, so we can at least be mana efficient this way. We can't attack with this thing, we can't take it off the board in any way. So, we'll just let it go. Now we can play Chip and give him a Bright Steel Protector. Think they'll attack into this. It's a little unfortunate, but turns out they will attack into this. All right, we're gonna. Well, we shouldn't lose our protector here. We don't have to have it go. Out of 9, he's just gets to keep his 1. Okay, that's fine. Leona. It's kind of tempting to just not play her so we can get some of these other cards on the board. The Spiral Stairs just doesn't seem that great. I think with they'll block here though, which is kind of a combos, geez. which is kind of a perk if we can get all their units off the board. Okay, I'm still going to attack. Yes, I get that these saplings have good blocks down here on our left and our right units, but oh, man, he's only up to 2s though. Okay, we'll let it go. It's just I really like full clearing their board so that they don't get to take advantage of the vaults. I think this is okay. The big 1, the singular landmark this game. Okay. I think we're gonna appreciate this attack. Nothing he can do for 1 mana to take our Garen back down. I don't know. We may, it's not unrealistic to think we'll get a better a better Equinox than that, but we'll just keep him from getting the mana. All right. So if we open, he's either going to take 11 or block Garen and take 9. That's not particularly exciting. I think we can get Leona down. The big thing here is we should be able to flip our Garen and then get to attack next turn. That should be enough to end it. It's like maybe we should have played Earth Elemental, but this does stop a block this turn with the Caretaker. Okay, that should do it. Oof. I think we're okay now. Definitely okay now picking up Ground Slam. Okay. Rip Thresh. Cool. Well done, squad. Well done. Oh goodness. Okay, I'm back at it and ready. So let's start a game. Summon a hibernating rock bear when an ally landmark counts down to 0. Create a rock bear in hand. It's not. It's like I want it to be good, but these rock bears. I'm trying to right click it for you, but it's not a thing. It's just. It's like we could start with a landmark for Chip, and of course you get him for Malphite. I just don't think it's necessary. I really like these the best defenses to raise my health to match my power. Just lets us get in a whole bunch of attacks while protecting our units. And this one's kind of interesting. It's like ultimately my big worry coming up here would be something like Von Yip and having the Purify. While you know, almost always worse than Mystic Shot. This solves like a lot of our problems between Von Yip and then the elusive out of the Victor round. I think we just want the Purify here. Okay. Especially nice if we can make it cost 0 or cost 1. I mean, we can play it on the first turn because we have the mana flow, but it's a nice spell to be stacking mana onto. And this I don't feel like super good hanging on to Garen. These decks tend to have a lot of early plays. Let's look for our chips. Oh, these are scary. These hands are not good. Just every time I see Spiral Stairs, it's like when you're playing Magic and you have to mulligan to 5. Like that's what it feels like when you draw Spiral Stairs. It's like, oh, basically start without a card this game. We gotta take 4, but hopefully Leona will be enough to start bringing us back into this. Oh, you're huge. Oh, we got double Omen Hawked, huh? Must be nice. We can at least purify it down. Okay. God, so many good hits. It's so scary to try and run concerted strikes into these things because they have frostbites in their deck. Alright, we'll just accept Leona's gonna fall here. I think I'm okay with it. Fight the signal fire. It's like maybe this was a bank, but I mean we gotta get some of these build around aspects going. We have to play the Spiral Stairs at some point. I do like an eye here. That should buy us the time. That's all we really need. Now we can get Malphite going. Well, losing Malphite to a Frostbite and a challenge would be a bit of a disaster. It's Garen though. He's gonna give us all the manas back. Interesting. Alright, well, we'll risk our Garen. Again, if he has a Frostbite, this can be a bit of a problem. Yeah, he's just sitting there on that Frostbite mana. Well, we still have Malphite. I think we can recover if this goes wrong. We're so just going to get frostbitten here. Oh! Better lucky than good, I guess. Alright, we can make all the magic happen now. Okay, so here's Malphite. The unit I really care about here, though, is Garen. I want him to be able to survive some of these combats. Let's do this. We can start with Chip. We might be able to just play out cards. Opponent tends to love just playing directly into Unstoppable Force. Then I'm not like super sure if it matters, but at like the end of the attack, like I'm not sure how the start of the turn effects work. Like if you have the attack token on a round start and then on his flip is a round start rally, I think we need to attack like this so Garen is on the left and his round start happens first. Not 100% sure if that's a fact, but it's a better safe than sorry thing. Let's keep Garen on the left here because the block from our opponent doesn't really matter. We got our Unstoppable Force, that's all I was really worried about. Bet this is good. Cool. So this one should be done. It's like, are we gonna pick up the Stonebreaker? Give the no combat wins. Okay. Easy. Cool. It is a good day to be Malphite. All right, on to the Scar Grounds. Let's see if we'll get something useful for that. It's like I'm somewhat interested in Relentless Pursuit, but it just doesn't. I don't think it does what we want. Right? We can get rallies off of Garen. I'm looking for like early game plays where I want interactive spells. So I think I'm going to re-roll these. I'll look for something cheaper. Both of these are interesting. The Penitent Squire, our only option is Garen at the moment to hit on the barrier, or to hit on the banner. But it would be nice to get all of the interactivity out of this thing. But I think I'm just going to take the Sea Scarab here. A 4/3 for 2 mana is just exactly what we need for the early game. Okay. Ancient Coin onto the Earth Elemental, make that cheaper. That works for me too. Leona's not super important here. Again, I think she's probably actually worse than Earth Elemental in this deck. Right? If we can't actually flip her, then having Overwhelm and the ability to get the bonus stats is probably just more important anyways. Anywho, hands like this are looking pretty good. The silences can be kind of awkward in this match. You get like the one turn to shut down whatever they're doing, but then as soon as you strike the unit, it starts getting Scargrounds bonuses again. And so it's kind of a one-shot deal against these things. Get that Elixir of Iron. It's okay. Well, you got 4 attack now. Or, I mean, oh, he has 4 attack. I was going to say, we have the 4 health is what I meant, but... Oh. Okay. We'll put the big health in front of the Overwhelm. And take all this down. Perfect. $25. Pretty close to deep. We got smaller decks here. Then we'll open. We can't stop a 2/4 with the Blue Sentinel, so just the 1 attack is good. Alright, feels okay. We got all these Purifies to handle their Overwhelms. I think it's good. These are slightly problematic now. We can't attack into them profitably. So let's just add the eye. We just picked up our Malphite. That was kind of perfect timing. We can just start getting these unstoppable force attacks in on our next attack token. just in case, you better preserve your Wolf Rider. Excellent. Uh-oh. Alright, so we're pretty far away from deep. Let's just block with Leona. I mean, I guess he can like brittle steel our Leona now, but I think this is fine. Okay, so let's add dudes to the board. Ideally, they'll just tap out, and we can play we can play the Unstoppable Force after the fact. He only has 1 mana, so this should be safe. Leg 1? Alright, get in there. Nice. Whew, okay, on to Sejuani. So what can we do here? Oh boy, Dragon's Clutch. Just do actual nothing. So I mean, I think it's either field promotion or reroll. You can give it. Next time you play unit, oh, it doesn't do anything twice. Okay. What do we do anything with Splinter Soul? Summon an exact copy of an allied's ephemeral in 1/1. Copy Sea Scarabs. It's a kind of a meh effect. It works well with Blue Sentinel to um, pick up those additional ramp landmarks. But oh, these are all in general pretty terrible. I'm going to give this a reroll. Okay, well, interesting with the sharp sight generating the poros, and it lets us deal with elusives. Would we rather have that than Strafing Strike? I just look at Strafing Strike and be like, well, that's a way we can kill Von Yip on the second turn if we start with a Sea Scarab. We probably just got to take the strike. Ephemeral Chips. Oh, it's a fleeting copy, not an ephemeral copy. Okay. Yeah, you can play double chip on the first turn. That's what we need. I mean, we just need more copies of early stuff. You can see how easy these games are once we get a flipped Malphite on the board. Just a matter of getting to that point. Okay, so I feel the need to like hang on to Purifies. Again, this is another deck that has a lot of big overwhelms, so they can be a little scary. You could technically like purify the weirding stones, but let's get our chips going. Maybe we'll find a landmark. Ugh. Kind of glad we hung onto the Purify. It's getting blasted though. There's nothing we can do about that. Gotta find something good here, deck. Well, that's probably the best spiral stairs we could ask for. Okay. Won't attack with this chip. Go. Alright, now I'm not sure how many of these chips we can chain off. This thing gets a little awkward. He doesn't have the ability. So can we just get a full board of chips? Is that how the summoning works? I've run into problems with this before. I guess we can get a full board. Not bad. So much chips. Alright. Oh, I had issues with that with Claws of the Dragon. I was expecting Claws of the Dragon to just completely fill our board with copies after we played two spells, and it was not the way it worked. Okay, good. These no plunders have to be really painful for opponent here. Add the peak. I'd like to go ahead and take down this weirding stones. Let's spend a strafing strike on this. This is something that's going to be kind of tough for our. Let's use the little chip, the damage chip. It's going to be a little tough for us to find units that we can kill with a strafing strike. Okay. Oh, Sejuani got bigger, so we should get this done here. I was like, man, the plunder guy has the overwhelm or the bigger attack, but no, we get to pop Sejuani here. I bet opponent comes in and just like throws a bunch of Fury of the Norths onto her. Man, all right, we can probably get away with this. Or the other option we have is just kind of let this happen. Maybe we just take 4. Okay, what if we do this? He's going to get the free one here. We take 4. He's out of mana, so he can't plunder anything. Then we can Seeds of Strength Leona, and then a Concerted Strike down Sejuani. I think I like this. So let's take 4. We're healthy enough to take this one hit. Seeds of Strength. And then his block with the Spirit Walker is still bad. Okay. Ooh, strike an enemy. Okay, cool. All right, the Stonebreaker we'll get to do next turn. I'm really happy with the Eye of Rahurak here. Can take one Sejuani hit, I do believe. Yeah, we're really close to lethal as well. So as long as we don't die on this turn, I think we're gonna be a-okay. Give me a blocker, please. Oh, it's got Overwhelm. Oh, that was the card he hit with the Outriders. Ugh. All right, well we can no block this and just fall to 2. Something like this, right? To take the unit off the board. I feel like they're probably just going to play a big bunch of Fury of the North after this. But right, I mean, we should be at least able to hit the Nexus with like the Spiral Stairs Stonebreaker if we need to. Perfect. Ooh, got him. Let's get ourselves ready for this Von Yip round. No more rerolls though, so we're stuck with these turds. But I'm not really interested in either higher education or fast deal. We don't need a bunch of card draw. Our cards are so expensive anyways, and we're only drawing 1 card a turn for higher education. But immortality, while not super interactive, it should be good for us here, in the sense that our early game is still bad. So we gotta find some kind of way to try and take advantage of the our bad early game. And so here, I've made this mistake before. I appreciate when people point this out to me. I get really confused when we have these 3 champion decks, and then I'm so used to it just being like the vertical columns when you're picking items. But on these champions, you can do Garen and Challenger, Garen and Fury, Leona and Barrier, however you want to do it. And we're going to take the Challenger Garens here, just to stack up on our champion that already has the Archangel Staff. Cool. We got the tools. This will be one of the scarier rounds though. Don't have great answers to this this Von Yip. You can Bright Steel Protector and then Strafing Strike him on the 2nd turn. So I think I want to hang on to that and then see if we can't pick up anything a little bit better. Nope. Spiral Stairs, you are trash. But can we do it with Chip? No, we can't get a landmark down fast enough. Or we can take the greedy route and try to just like get 3 chips next turn. We can play, say, the start tip peak now and then triple chip next turn. But all of our chips aren't really good enough to deal with all the units they'll be playing. Alright, how many are you going to hit us for? And I guess the downside to this play is if they have Mystic Shot, that can be a real issue. Mystic Shot onto the Protector. Okay, they do not. So this is a little greedy. I'm going to let them, pick up. Well, we couldn't stop that burst unit anyways, but it's like we'll let them pick up 1 more unit before we come in and try to take down the Von Yip. Okay. So now it's just like a matter of what we can get away with. Sea Scarab is good though. He kind of changes things a little bit. I was gonna say, it's like, what if we like start tip peak and played Bright Steel Protector with the intent that, that we're going to just play a whole bunch of chips next turn. But we fall like so far behind if they decide to open attack on us. Oh no, another one? Oh, just a death ray. Okay. This is ultimately pretty scary. We were too slow in dealing with that Vanya, but I mean, we did it as fast as we could, but still ultimately pretty slow. Now he's going to open. These ground slams aren't ready for damages. Okay, well, we lose him, but that does let us deal with 2 units this turn instead of 1. Oh my gosh. Death ray, okay. Mystic shot to face. Alright. I mean, we're about to turn the corner. Alright, let's just prevent this damage. 7 fall to 12. Okay. So do we want to... Depends on what we draw, but I think we just want to play the star tip peak and then 4 chips. Get to add Garen, though. That's always nice. And we just build up to Judgment. We can, if we bank 3 mana this turn. Or next time, we only need to bank 1 mana if we want to make a Judgment play. I think I'm on board with that. Let's add the peak. Just in case. We'll get these chips going. Okay, he's out of cards now. It makes me feel a little bit better about these things. Right, 3, 6, go up to 7 mana, and then the 1 banked. Alright. Now that he's tapped out, let's take down his 4/4. Cool. Okay, so we fall to 12. Probably take some burn damage at some point, but hopefully Immortality can carry us part of the way here. Oh, he just passed to us. Did not expect that. Okay. We can't do any of these landmark-based things, really. Let's get an elemental going. Should be able to get pretty good attacks this turn. Cool, he just overwrote his landmark. This is actually the scary hook, right? Let's just hook the smaller unit. I think we should really just have to worry about death rays, but cool if this returned all the mana from the Archangel staff. That'd be a pretty sweet way to go about this. Okay. It's alright, yeah, we're getting pretty close. He's got to check if we're going to deck him, but he's got rid of that. The Hex Core Foundry. Still taking all this incidental damage, though. Interesting, he doesn't add any more cards? Oh, he's out of cards. I guess that makes sense as to why. So we can do 5 plus 2 into Assembly Bot, and then we have good attacks after that if we use our Concerted Strike. Where'd you go here? Strike this down. Alrighty. Hang on to this Equinox just in case they do something with like a Sumpworks map. Could have protected us from that 3/3 there, but oh man, we're deep. This fall to 7. So much burn and just nothing we can do about it. This would take some more buff cap damage. But hopefully we can just close this down next turn. Yep, get us with the clouds. Yeah, it looks like it's even gonna be short. 6, 12. Well, we can 18 him, but it takes a bit of work. And Karina is the last one. I think there's any way to prevent. Only one spell? Okay, that could have been worse. Alright, so this one's done. We at least get to gain 10 from the immortality. And hopefully, if we see an item with a health potion on it, we might just have to take it. Okay, so are any of these useful? Not particularly, but we're out of rerolls, so I'm just going to pick Leona here because she's cheaper. That's as easy as that one's going to be. Okay, on to the next one. The turrets can be kind of interesting. They start with the Heimer, so we can't silence him, but they tend to fill out their board really quick, and the who's he called? The Malphite thing just works really good against them. If you can manage to get to that stage of the game, it can be a little tough to get to that stage. But there we go. It's like give me them health. So we're way too low at this point. But yeah, it's interesting when their board gets full and they can't do the round start ability to get T hexes on the board. So we'll see if it comes down to that. Sometimes they get overly greedy with Heimerdingers and we can just take him down in combat, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. It's not planned to do the overly greedy route. Who do we want to protect? The 4/4? Okay, and surprisingly, these attacks are all still good. He can do stuff with Mystic Shots, but our Bright Steel will become a 3/3 on attack, and his units can't stop that. Okay. Heimer. getting right into the thick of it. We can ground slam him down if we want. I mean, his board's not ultra scary. Ooh, love seeing the beam come down right before we play our Garen. Now we do have an option. If we let him take the 6, hang on, let's slow our roll here a bit. If we let him take the 6, that will be the elusive turret. So we let our unit go. Then we just play Garen so that we stay efficient on our mana. I think I like this, and then we can. Use Ground Slam onto the turret, and then use Garen to hook Heimer. So Heimer does flip, but it's not going to matter here. Oh, I don't have an attack token, though. Ugh. Alright, well, we'll just have to open next turn. We don't have any good... Let's just let that go, then. Okay, that makes it. We'll let it happen. Oh, we want to just take 6? Probably not. We probably don't want to just take 6. Ugh, awkward. Oh, we don't have a... Oh, we do have a landmark. Okay, we played the start tip peak. I'm losing it. Everything's falling apart now. It's like I kind of wanted to let that unit stay so that it would block his board from getting the new turret, but it feels a little greedy. And I think we stop here. We just I don't care about him adding bad units to the board. He's going to fill out. Just want to get the big boy down. kind of like a silence onto this Voltician. It feels like these are kind of the premier silence targets. Can't Garen Judgment now, but I think that's okay. Ooh, and he's just passing now? Okay, okay. So this looks like a good judgmentable turn. I don't think we'll lose our Garen, so the rest of our attacks aren't any good, but... Oh, hang on, we gotta get all of our attacks in so that he blocks with stuff. Oops, that's that's how judgment works. So should we just wait a turn in that case then? Like, we definitely want to attack with Garen to get him to flip, but I think we want to try and get a judgment play in. So let's do this. Whatever the smallest one is. Don't want our Garen dying to like a thermogenic beam. He'll die to beam. I don't want him dying to mystic shots or true shot barrages. Okay, so yeah, I think we can stop here. Hopefully he'll just attack with the squad, and we can get a big judgment in. Okay. How close to deep are we now? 21? Fairly close to deep. And I don't really want to add more units here. I want him to attack with everything so we can get a judgment. Ugh. I guess it's just not happening, is it? And it seems like things are going okay even without it, but... He has to attack at some point, right? At some point. Alright, well, let's see if we can't get him to commit to an attack. Here comes the T-Hex, which is a little awkward in size, but he's got to fall to these at some point, right? Okay. Maybe we just start adding chips to the board and he'll do something with this. I don't get it. I don't get what they're doing. He has just intent to not attack. All right. And Garen, we don't want these 8/8s in front of. We want something that he can kill. In that sense, we should probably leave Malphite back. I guess we can like Judgment and Strafing Strike if we want. We have the mana for that. We'd have to like sacrifice a chip into one of these bigger units. I think we leave Malphite behind. Oh snap! I forgot to get a hook with Garen though. That could be a disaster, but it doesn't look like we're going to get punished for it. Garen's doing that. And we just need to sacrifice off one of these smaller chips. To take down the T-Hex. Okay. Definitely meant to get a hook with Garen, but I think the payoff is still going to be here. Oh, landmarks. Okay. So let's do this without losing our important units. I mean, I guess the Crescent Strike would be okay. We still have another Judgment for next turn if we need it. Then that protects our Malphite, so he can attack now. Okay. Oof. We're just gonna deck him. Like we're really close to that, right? He draws 3. He's only got 5 cards left. Getting close. Getting close. Those are irrelevant. Were those cheapers? Both are on the cheap. Nice. All three of his cards weren't relevant. I don't know how much burn they have left. I mean, he's played two two-shot barrages. It shouldn't be that much. Comes the big old attack. So, Chip can go. This will get us deep. And you are the next least valuable unit. I'm going to put Garen on a small one just in case. Are there any worthwhile purifies? Nah, we only care about these units down here to the left. I don't think so. Progress day. Alright, he's gonna deck himself. And give me those deep animations. Oop. Okay, so we'll have reasonable health going into Victor. We'll have 22, thanks to the immortality. So hopefully that'll be enough. Let's see. So we can make the eye on the cheap. We're never making ephemeral Garens, and then Leona with the draw is not that bad. But let's take the eye here. Well, the problem with taking the eye is that, like, when you play the eye doubled up, it gives you the 10 mana for your Malphite, right? He needs to see the mana come down. So if we make these cost 2 less, then they would be like 6 mana when we play them. Let's just take the Leona. Groan when we say it. It doesn't feel that great. Okay, so definitely keeping Blue Sentinel. Garen's so good, I think I want to keep him as well. It's just it's so, like, when you're playing against Victor, just the big thing tends to be if, like, you can kill the Victor, then you tend to win. Like, the first Victor is just such a big deal to deal with, and then if you've taken him down, you don't have nearly as much to worry about. And so Garen having Challenger and coming down on turn 4, since we have the mana gem, just feels like he should be primed and ready to take Victor down. Okay, if they don't open, we'll have a good block with our Bright Steel and team. Okay. Kinda don't like it, because if we'd let the Blue Sentinel die, then we could have gotten this Garen down, but like, how many chips do we want to just throw down? We should probably just throw this down, right? Not giving it to us. I think this is okay. We'll just Bright Steel will fully bank to 3. If he opens on us, it's okay. But then if we have, like, Garen plus Strafing Strike, that should be enough for this turn. It's coming in for an attack. So let's do this. Let's put... Well, the thing with Garen is we would like to get 2 strikes this turn, but all of his units are too big, so we're not gonna get that. So let's just prevent damage. We can do this, and then we can Strafing Strike our Blue Sentinel into Victor. Take 9, fall to 11. Feels okay. He's out of mana, so he can't really do anything about this. Right? So we lose our 2 small units, but we can refill with chips. Garen survives. Okay, that seems good. We can try and make a Purify play with a Garen hook next turn if we want. Okay. Or do we just run out the chip parade? Just to ensure that we have good blocks from this point forward. I kind of like Leona next turn, but yeah, let's do this. Let's go with the 4 chips. Okay. See, if Garen falls, this is like a disaster for us, so I was a little worried about that. Okay, and he's also out of mana. He does get a good block if we swing with the Earth Elemental, but I think this is okay. Garen gets the takedown. Get rid of this. Okay, I think this should win the game for us now. I'm gonna go ahead and refill the board with chips. We don't really have too much to do with our mana at this point. I mean, Leona does draw a card and Concerted Strike's expensive, but I think this is okay with a full board. It's like the only thing that he can play that's relevant now would be like an elusive. Otherwise, I'd rather just have chips on the board. Or we are pretty far away from deep. Okay, so let's go ahead and swing. He can, if he has like a get excited or something in the middle of combat, we can still protect our Garen with the Concerted Strike. Nice, nice. Still got an attack token, so let's just shut it down. He can't kill our Garen anymore. Is this lethal? We got 15, so it'd be too short. Leona for the morning light. That's gonna be a daybreak one too, so it'll at least stun the gearhead. No, just yeah, Leona will still activate. Right, it's not the flipped version where we'd be getting 2, but still get the shutdown on his unit. Don't get a card draw though. It kind of sucks. I think I have to imagine this ends the game. Just do nothing, just the straight give 'em ups. Nice, nice, a nice little heroic victory on Malphite here. So everything went pretty according to plan. It wasn't as perfect as I had hoped for, but yeah, we touched on all the big problems with Malphite, and that you don't have anything to do in the early game. You're so heavily dependent on like Chip and Blue Sentinel. You have all these landmarks that don't really add anything to the board. So you see all these problems with the likes of Start Tip Peak and Spiral Stairs and Eye of Rahul Rock, even to a degree Ground Slam not being that interactive. And so it's very easy for you to get these really awkward draws to where you just have, a Spiral Stairs and a Ground Slam and a Malphite, and you just can't do anything until like the 4th or the 5th turn of the game. So those are the big things you're trying to avoid, right? You need something to let you cheat on mana. That's why we started with Mana Flow, so we could get our units down a little bit early. You need some early game plays. So that's why we took the Garen, was to pick up things like Bright Steel Protector, and then you need a way to interact with your opponent, which is another bonus of picking up that Garen with having the Concerted Strike. So we got the cheap unit and the removal spell. We went out of our way to pick up these Purifies so that we could deal with like Von Yips and these things with the Victor. It's pretty good. I thought we handled this this experiment pretty well. So I hope you all enjoyed it too. You maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.